Please, I can't sleep.
It's time to listen to Courtney at last on the Ramblings of an Insomniac podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 22 of the Ramblings of Insomniac. Hello. I am outside. Well, technically, I guess I'm inside, and I'm just kind of have the my sliding glass door open because I just love the sound of the rain. And then, of course, in the background, my air freshener goes off to ruin the whole moment. But at any rate, I like the sound of the rain. And so anyways, I thought it'd be nice to kind of poke my head out and you all can hear it too. And if you don't like the sound of it, well, sorry. Sorry about that. Anyways, episode 22. And I was thinking the other night, what I had running through my head that was keeping me up was the difference between capable and incapable, and helping someone or enabling, and the difference between, what is that border of a handout or a help, and what is the difference between, at what point do we say, we're helping you out because we don't feel you can ever do it, or we're helping you out because we know that you can, and so we're going to help you to a point, but then we know you can do it. So anyways, I was thinking about that stuff last night because like I said, my mom unfortunately passed away on the 12th, and she didn't have a life insurance policy, and I'm, having to pay a lot of stuff out of pocket and stuff. And I get really weird and stubborn and prideful and all of that about anybody helping me at all. I mean, with anything, not because I feel that others don't think I'm capable and they need to help me. I'm well aware that they know that I'm capable and they know that I can do it, and that they just want to be able to help alleviate stress. But I get just weird. And so I started, and then that got me thinking about how I get, I don't want to say upset, but I like to help people and I want to help people. And when I ask if anybody needs help, or I'll ask him if there's anything I can do, or I'll offer to do something specific, and somebody turns me down, it's not that I get upset or anything, but I'm like, well, gosh, I really want to help that person. I want to help alleviate some of their stress. Even if it's a small part, I just want to help with that. And someone had said to me once that when someone offers to say, I don't know, bring you food and make you dinner so that you don't have to, and I get weird about just saying thank you. I'm like, oh, you didn't have to do that, blah, 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 blah. And people are like, it's okay. I don't mind. Just say thank you. And how I feel like thank you's not enough, or I need to do something for them, or I don't know. I just overthink it. And anyway, point being, when I do something to help somebody, though, I'm the same way. Just a thank you is totally, that's all I want, all I need. And I don't even need that. I'm just saying, like, a thank you genuinely is enough. I don't do things to help others so that I can get something in return. I never do anything expecting someone to do something back, or expecting them to just be eternally grateful or in my debt or think I'm amazing or any of those things. And when someone says thank you, I genuinely am like, no problem. And that's perfect. That's all I want, all I need. Yet I turn around and want to, I feel obligated. And again, I don't mean that shitty. I'm not saying that, oh God, they did this nice thing for me, like Sheldon on Big Bang, like, oh, you did this nice thing, so now I'm obligated. I don't mean it that way at all, but I'm just one of those people that is so weird, and I genuinely don't want anyone to ever be put out by me or go out of their way for me, because everybody has their own life and they don't need to take their time to help me. So I get weird. But anyways, I have also learned, though, that a little help sometimes is nice. And there's people out there like me that also genuinely want to help, not because they want something out of it, not so that they can feel good about themselves. They just genuinely want to help. And they're like me and they want to be able to alleviate some stress. And so I need to learn to probably take people up on their offer more often. That's a tongue twister. Offer more often. But I'm working on it. I'm learning on it. I'm learning. Sorry, I'm sidetracked because there's a lot of commotion that I'm hearing. And anyways, then that started getting me thinking about help in general. And at what point is it helping somebody, or is it enabling or promoting? Are we trying to basically say, hey, we don't think that you are capable or able to do this thing, and so we are going to give you help? Like if we think that a certain gender or a certain religion or a certain race or a certain person with a certain sexual orientation, is it helping or hindering, or are we saying that they are not capable? If we're like, hey, we are going to give you these scholarships or these grants or these tax breaks or whatever. And by the way, I want to preface this by saying I'm not saying I'm for anything or against anything. I'm genuinely just asking, like, when I have a problem with the fact that my sons are full-grown adults, and I still want to help them and make their life easy to the point that I make my life miserable. And I've enabled them a lot with a lot of things. And so, and I know that that definitely has not served them or me any good whatsoever. And it won't serve, my oldest is going to be a father in July. And if he does that, or just me enabling him, certainly isn't going to help him out. And therefore, he may not have all the tools that he needs to be a father or be an adult and be out in this world, because you can't handle life when somebody else is always cleaning up your messes and picking up your pieces, and you're never going to learn. I mean, that's the entire point on fucking up, is so that you can go, oh, I get it. Crap. I should not do that again. I should not touch that stove when the burner's on. It's hot. Ouch. Shit. Make sure I look both ways before I cross the street. But, put a helmet on, because last time I fell off my bike, it hurt. So, at what point, though, do we give a helping hand? And when does that become where we are kind of saying to them, we don't feel that you're capable or able, so we're just going to keep helping you? So you're also not learning any lesson, because we're constantly doing something for you. Therefore, you don't know how to free think. You're not learning how to think on your own. You're not learning how to problem solve. You're not learning how to analyze. You're not learning how to just, be, if it's around people, you're not learning how to read social cues or kind of learn hierarchy or any of that. You're not learning social skills at all if we're always running around in people's lives, giving them reasons and excuses or helping them out when it's unnecessary. I was seeing a counselor, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because I do this. I want to help everybody so that no one has to do anything ever. So no one has to think on their own or do anything at all. And I will just do it all to the point that I am, going to be exhausted and in a grave soon. But I want to do it. But that's not helping. Same with things like I 100% think that there should be scholarships and grants and loans, and there 100% should be people out there that can help others get on their feet and, give them a helping hand, whether it's with money or scholarships or grants or loans or whatever, like I said. So, but at the same time, I also feel that if we are saying that certain groups of people get certain things because of a religion or a race or a gender or whatever, then sometimes I feel like that's great, but is that all you are? Are you just a female? Are you just your race? Are you just your religion? Are those the things that make you you? Or is it a combination of many things? Is it all those things? It's your race, it's your religion, it's your sexual orientation, it's your political background, it's all those things. So I don't know. Oh gosh, I'm getting sidetracked just a moment. There's chaos going on. Oh my goodness, I tell you. Okay, so that was a perfect example of what I feel enabling people, especially your children, does. They become adults that basically can't cope with normal skills. And again, I'm going to piss off a lot of people, and I am genuinely not trying to, because let me tell you, like I said, I believe that everybody, every single person, no matter what, deserves a helping hand. I think everybody deserves to get help when they need it. 100%. Does not matter who you are. I think if you need to get help, we all have been there. We all have needed a helping hand. I think that's great. I'm just wondering and asking genuinely if it's a good idea, though, to say, I'm going to give you a loan or make your insurance. Well, I guess I get insurance, but I'm going to give you a loan, and I'm going to give one gender a worse rate and the other gender a better rate because of female or male. And yet, let's see, how do I explain this? I just feel like it's okay to help people out, and it shouldn't always be based on gender. I understand why things like tickets, like your insurance, your car insurance, is based on gender, because statistically speaking, they've done tests, they've done the stats on it, that they feel that male drivers are statistically the worst driver as far as they get more wrecks or speed or whatever. So their insurance is higher. Okay, great. That makes sense. I get why you use certain stats and certain things to gather information, but when it comes to things like scholarships and loans and grants and all of that, I'm just not sure if it's a good can of worms to open by basing those loans and things on certain categories. I feel like, why? If we're all trying to be equal, if we all want to be equal, then I feel like, why? And by the way, I think it's amazing that we're all different. I think it should be that we're all different, we're all unique. Because if we are basing our entire lives and who we are on just our gender, or just the fact that I have blonde hair, or just the fact that I have blue eyes, or just the fact that I work, with dogs, I think that we're made up of so many things. We're made up of many things. It's not just one thing that defines who we are. And so everybody is different. And are we trying to lump everybody into separate categories? Or are we trying to say that this category is this way and that category is that way, and we're trying to keep us separate? Or are we trying to embrace the fact that we are all unique individuals, yet can learn from each other, no matter what country we're from? I don't base the fact that I live in America and I'm a female. I don't use that to identify myself. I just say my name. And I feel like right now, of all times, we are all so all over the place. One minute we are wanting to put us all in different boxes and separate us all. And it's like old school, where people used to live in different boroughs, and one neighborhood was all, Italian, and one neighborhood was all Hispanic, and one neighborhood was all Caucasian, and one neighbor was all African American. And it's just like, are we doing that again? And then the next minute, it seems like everybody wants to celebrate our uniqueness, but live as one and be together and live in harmony and celebrate diversity. So I don't understand. Are we celebrating diversity, or are we getting loans and grants and help based on certain categories and we're keeping us separate? Or are those separate things? So I'm asking. I'm just asking. I'm genuinely asking. And I'm not understanding why, again, to me, if someone said, Courtney, you're going to get this loan and you're going to get a really good rate because you're a woman, and we're going to give you longer to pay off that loan. I would say, well, awesome. That's great. I do appreciate that. But why? Do you feel I'm incapable? But then I don't want to be that person, because if someone holds open my door, I love that. It's not, I don't ever think, oh my gosh, are they holding open my door because they feel I'm incapable? No, I think they're holding open my door because they were raised right, and it's proper and it's kind and it's respectful, not because someone thinks that the other person's incapable. At least I think the majority of the people do not do that for that reason anyways. So then I think, well, I'm sure they're not thinking, well, you're incapable, so we're going to give you a different set of rules and regulations because you're a female. I don't know. Or, for example, when somebody wants to be in the police academy, or be a Navy SEAL, or be a firefighter, I feel like everybody, no matter what, I don't care what color you are, I don't care what gender you are, I don't care what you identify as, what religion, what political background you're from, don't care. Every single person should 100% be taking the exact same test, because lives are at stake. You don't want to go into a burning building and be trying to save lives, and if you can't carry a person, or you can't go up a ladder, or you can't do the things you need to do to be able to save lives, then you are, well, you're doing that. You're putting lives at risk. If you can't do the job, you can't do the job. So you can't alter the test. You can't alter how it's done, or give more or less time or anything like that, because you're all going to the same house. You're all going to the same place. So if you're all going to the same place and you're going into the same building, or you are going to protect our country, or you are going to, be a police officer, and you are showing up at the same scene, then you all need to be capable of doing, at least the bare minimum, shooting the gun and going over the same walls and sprinting and running and doing all the things that you need to do to be able to do the job and do it correctly. So I think tests should be 100% the same. And I don't understand why people would argue that, because if you're in a burning building and you're seeing people coming at you to save you, wouldn't you want to know that that person is actually capable of saving you? Not that they're going to be like, oh, I'm sorry, I did not test for this big of a wall. I did not test for this heavy of a person. I did not test for this tall of a ladder, or whatever the case is. You can't do that. So again, I go back to, are we thinking that people are incapable? Are we calling them incapable? Because that's insulting. Are we saying, based on these things, we think you're incapable, or you need more help? I'll just keep saying woman because I'm a woman. If someone were like, hey, you get this discount, or you get this thing because you're a woman. Well, again, if it's something like, okay, women statistically are better drivers. Well, again, go by that, but also go by, am I, Courtney, me specifically, am I a good driver? If I have a shitty driving record, then obviously my insurance is going to go up, obviously. But I'm just saying, like, I understand why statistically, if it has to do with driving record. Obviously, if you're a crappy driver, you should pay more. But when it comes to if I want to get into the fire department, I need to know how to do the exact same things. If I'm going to be a Navy SEAL, I need to do the exact same test, not alter it. So again, I'm not hating on anybody. I love everybody. I do not care what color, race, religion, all those things. Don't care about any of it. Don't care where you're from in this world. Don't care what country you're from. Don't care what city you're from. I don't care what you look like. Nothing. I like everybody equally. I respect everybody equally. It takes your personality and your morals from me. That's what I base things on. You know, your morals, who you are as a human, not, I don't care what church you go to. I don't care who you sleep with. You do you. As they say in We Are the Millers, you do you, Scotty P. I don't judge by that. I judge like that meme that goes around says, I judge by, if you're an asshole or not if you're from a certain country or who you choose to sleep with or what color you are or what political background you're from. I don't care. I have people and friends from all walks of life, and I love everybody the same. And I think we all, like I've said 100 times, we all can learn from each other. In fact, it's better to be around those that we disagree with, so that we can learn and see different perspectives. In fact, this is kind of funny. Again, that got me thinking about the fact that I got a new phone, but it's still an iPhone. And I bitch about the Android and I bitch about the iPhone. And I was like, too bad you can't combine both of them. And then my son's like, oh, isn't that a Google phone? And I'm like, I don't know. I haven't really tried this out. But I think everything's kind of that way. You can learn, you could take the Bloods and the Crips, and I'm sure they have something in common, Well, they do. Dislike for each other, so hate and dislike. And it's just sad because this world right now is so focused on, I feel like especially in this country, is so focused on things where we're making shit up. We have to make things up to complain about. I don't get it. There are things going on in the Ukraine right now that are just horrific. And there are things going on in different countries in different parts of the world that are just horrific. And there's things going on here in our own country. There are people that get abused. There are people that have lost loved ones. And we complain about, I feel we complain about the most insanely minuscule things. And myself included. I mean, it's like Louis C.K. did a stand-up about how, the short version is, because I'm horrible at jokes and remembering the punchline, and I'm one of those that can never tell jokes. I'm all over the place. But the gist of it was, we complain about how fast our cell phone service is, and because we had to wait a minute. Or if we're sitting in an airplane and we're getting ready for takeoff, and, all of a sudden they're like, hey, there's a problem, and we have to wait a minute. And it's like, and we get all pissed. And it's like, okay, but we were just getting ready to take off to a vacation. I mean, not always, I realize, but it's like we're sitting in an airplane. That's like a miracle, that alone. So myself included, someone also said during a traffic jam, okay, maybe that traffic jam saved your life, because maybe if you were someplace sooner, you would have gotten into a wreck. Or maybe if you were someplace sooner, you would have been in the Twin Towers when they crumbled. So sometimes traffic jams can save your life. Sometimes, there are things that, again, this is cliche and we've all talked about, and I'm not saying anything that millions of people haven't said for thousands of years, but that is, sometimes the worst things can end up being a blessing in disguise. And I am not one to always be like, that what kills you makes you stronger. Well, fuck off, because that's not always the case. Sometimes that what kills you just fucking kills you because you have a heart attack because of all the stress. And, I have a friend, shout out to Richard, if you are listening, Richard and Jolene, they have just had one shit show of a life after another. And he had a heart attack. And I'm telling you that what kills you does not always make you stronger. Sometimes it just makes you a pissed off alcoholic that gets, heart disease and is pissed off and drunk and dies early. I'm just going to throw that out there. But, at the same time, I get the idea. I get the concept. Yes, I get it that, or when people are like, God only gives you what you can handle. And again, I'm not hating on religion. I'm not even going there about belief in God or religion or anything like that, but just saying when you basically can't take on more than you can handle. I disagree. Sometimes enough is enough, and sometimes people have a breaking point. And having that support and having people around you to be able to talk to and get things out is so important. And right now, with everything going on, I just feel like the last thing we need to be doing is worried about the most, I feel, again, in my opinion, mundane things like, again, who you identify it with is important. I'm not at all shunning people wanting to identify as a certain person or thing or whatever. That is great. I respect that. Respect. I'm just saying that if someone gets your pronoun incorrect, you're not going to die. There are worse things in the world. There's worse things in the world right now if there aren't bathrooms that are meant for everything under the sun. Because again, if you talk to people in different countries, they're going to think that we sound ridiculous, like we're making shit up. We don't need to make up more shit to be pissed off. Can we please, for the love of God, just focus on being happy? Can we focus on the fact that there is so much good we could be doing right now in the world? We don't need to be focused on the bad. We need to be going out and helping. We need to be going out and understanding that there's people out there that are very, very capable of helping themselves that don't need help right now. And we don't need to enable anybody. We don't need to be giving handouts to anybody that is very capable. And we want to make sure that they remain capable members of society. And what we do need to be focused on are those that can't help themselves right now because they're trying really hard and they've been trying and they could use a helping hand. And we need to be focusing on anybody and everybody. It doesn't matter, again, what their background is, what their color or religion or political, all that. It doesn't matter. What matters is there are people out there that need help, genuine help, that have been trying to work, have been working, and who are hard workers, who've been out there just struggling. And there's people in other countries that could use our help. There are laws that need to be changed. There are, animals that need homes. There is just so many things. There are elderly people right now in assisted living facilities that the assisted living facility and memory care facility and just how we treat the elderly in general needs to be revamped. There's just so much that we need to be focusing on. And I feel strongly that what we should not be wasting a lot of time on is Hollywood. Or, to be perfectly honest, I feel like we can put that aside right now. We can put Hollywood aside and focus on what good we can do and what purpose are we serving right now. What are we doing to contribute to the world? And it doesn't have to be some huge contribution. I just mean if we get up every day and we just smile at somebody that looks like they need a smile, or give a compliment to someone that looks like they need a compliment, or maybe not be pissed off sitting in traffic, honking your horn at someone in front of you as if they can go anywhere. Like, what's the point in honking the horn, people? Can you tell me that? When you're in traffic and you can see that no one can go anywhere, what does honking your horn accomplish? What does that achieve exactly? I've always been curious. So you're sitting in traffic, like picture yourself, you're in LA, you're in traffic, you're clearly not going anywhere because your bumper is up the other bumper's ass. So you're not going anywhere, but you're honking your horn. Like, are we doing this so that, is that like your cry, your bat signal? Like, Are you wanting a helicopter to fly in? And I just don't get it. Like, lay off the horn, people. It's for a purpose, and that's not it. I'm just saying. Anyway, so instead of having road rage, or instead of jumping up someone's ass and making assumptions, because you know what they say about assumptions, let's maybe give someone a break once in a while. Maybe that could be our contribution to society, is when we wanted to yell at someone because we think they're being an ass, we can be like, you know what? I bet you maybe that person is having a bad day. Because I've been there and I've had a bad day and I've yelled at someone, or I've been a jerk to somebody when I shouldn't have because I've had a bad day. So I would hope that somebody would be like, when someone else is rude, can go, you know what? Maybe that person's having a bad day. And since I'm probably never going to see them again anyway, odds are I'm never going to run into that person again. Why don't I be an adult and be respectful and see, is it really going to affect my life in any way if I turn around and flip that person off and yell at that person for something that they probably would normally never do? Probably not. So maybe those things. I'm not saying we have to go out and like save the whales, although, we should save the whales. I mean, we should do that actually, but I'm just saying it doesn't have to be something huge. It could be little things every day that we strive to achieve, and focus on that first. And anytime we're going to get pissed off at someone or make up something to be angry about, can we instead be like, what do Mo is very concerned about what's happening outside right now. But anyways, I don't want to get on a soapbox, and I don't want to lecture, because nobody needs lectures. We're all lecturing, and it's just like blah, blah, blah. And the last thing you need is another person that you don't even know and have never met be like, who does this person think she is? So I will cut this short and just say, I think we should all think about capable and incapable, and enabling versus helping, and waking up every day trying to do, even if it's something, like I said, smiling at somebody, helping somebody across the street, I don't know, buying a coffee for somebody, whatever, the whole paying it forward thing. I really genuinely, as duh of a thing that is, the pay it forward concept is, people don't do it enough, and it does feel amazing, and it really does work. I know that when someone else does something kind for me, it makes me want to do something kind. So, and the reverse, when someone's pissed off at me, then I am more than likely to probably go maybe bitch out somebody else. So let's just all wake up tomorrow and promise ourselves that we will maybe find the good, not make up stuff to be upset about. And those of you that have things to be upset about, legitimately have things to be upset about, and you're working your ass off and things just seem to keep getting worse and worse, don't let people tell you that what kills you makes you stronger or whatever. Be mad. It's okay. Be mad, be sad, have your moment. Don't let anyone tell you can't. Go ahead, throw a fit, be pissed, do all of the things that you need to do. Eat that cake. But then, eventually, once you've done that, take a breath, and I'll walk you through it. We'll get there. Anyways, thank you again for tuning in to another episode of The Ramblings of an Insomniac. I am Courtney Perry. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in.